on to our next topic. The PWI magazine named Randy Orton the best wrestler so far, up until this point in 2009. Do you guys agree with that? Do you agree with that choice of Randy Orton?
I don't disagree with the ranking. I was trying to think, do I disagree with this? It seems kind of weird that Randy Orton, because, he usually was always kind of second to, Cena and Triple H and Batista. But as I look through the year, there's really nobody else I could think of that could be on that rest of the year so far. I can't really think of anyone who was a dominant champion. Randy Orton's been champion for a pretty good amount of 09. I can't really think of someone. Even when he wasn't champion, he was the center of the storyline. I really can't. Yeah, the only person you could also maybe put in there is Triple H, but I don't think so. I think it's Orton, really, because he stepped up in a lot of ways.
It's interesting that Randy Orton was picked as Wrestler of the Year because, yes, you're right, he was always the center of the storyline. But I found his characters to start to get bland after WrestleMania a little bit. It sounded like he was trying too hard to portray some maniacal bad guy. Draws heat very well, don't get me wrong, but it seemed like he forced it a little much. And, I won't dispute the number one ranking, but I don't see why you don't give Jeff Hardy a look. With it being the center of the storyline without holding the championship, that's pretty much the story of Jeff Hardy's entire career, let's face it. So, I'd give him a look, and why not? I guess Kurt Angle, maybe. But RKO or Hardy in reality.
It's funny how these rankings come out around the same time that I actually start to get bored with the Randy Orton character, because basically now his character, he kind of seems like a weakling now, the maniacal, diabolical type Randy Orton we saw around WrestleMania time. That's not the same Randy Orton that we see right now. And I don't know, maybe you guys can answer this for me, but am I reading too much into things and, paying too much attention to the word wrestler? Because if you want to ask the question, was Randy Orton the best superstar this year, that'll probably be, definitely be a yes. But when it comes to best wrestler, his wrestling ability has actually declined since he's made it, to the top of WWE. So, I don't know. Am I reading too much into that?
No, you're right, JayDub. The superstar part and the wrestling part does kind of depreciate. But you have to think of it this way. If they only focus completely and 100% only on your wrestling ability, then people like AJ Styles, people like Samoa Joe, people like Nigel McGuinness, people like Austin Aries, people like basically all these young guys that we know can perform excellent and give their 120% in the ring every time. Only these guys will be coming number one. And since other than a few of them, a lot of them don't have mainstream exposure, it would kind of become a whole just going around in a circle thing. And that's why they want to kind of make it more like a superstar rather than a wrestler. Just say wrestler to give it more credibility, but we can just see that it's completely superstar. It's been superstar probably for the last 3-4 years.
What's your thoughts on the situation, CM?
My problem with it is that Randy Orton's matches have been completely sucking, and that's part of the reason why I don't buy pay-per-views, because he's in the main event with Triple H almost every month, and it's annoying. His matches aren't doing very good because of WrestleMania, Extreme Rules. The Bash was not good. And his character got stale after that whole McMahon thing. After that was done, they kind of just forgot about it. So he's kind of ruined it. So guys like Jeff Hardy, as he said, Chris Jericho's been having pretty good matches on pay-per-views. All those guys who have it, almost all of it, are not getting a look here. So where Randy Orton having bad matches is kind of a problem for me to put him as number one wrestler.
Yeah.
I wanted to speak on something that CM Punk Mark 35 mentioned. I don't really think that the wrestling is so much his fault, because he's been feuding with Triple H all year. I don't really think he works that well with Triple H. He's been getting a monster push. That push up to WrestleMania was one of the better ones that we've seen in the past couple of years. And, he kind of got it, thrown away for, I don't know, I guess some storyline twist. I don't know if it's the WWE trying to be unpredictable as opposed to sensible, but you know, Orton is a decent candidate for Wrestler of the Year because he's been performing well, I think, and he almost put he did like what John Cena did to Jack Swagger, where he kind of put him over while still winning. Kind of do that with Ted DiBiase, made DiBiase really strong. You know, maybe give Legacy some legitimacy. So I think that Orton has been helping the WWE succeed throughout the past 6 months, maybe in that sense, deserving of Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, I think JayDub, I think when they say wrestler, I think they personally mean more like overall, like a superstar. Because if you look at his wrestling ability, I agree with you. It has gone down, and I agree. I think I like the word WWE went with unpredictable instead of sensible, because he just. I know that you're a Triple H fan. I know that I'm tough on Triple H, but I just really don't think Triple H should have beat Orton at WrestleMania. That killed so much. Orton was hot during that McMahon feud. He was making people cheer for the McMahons, who not even a year ago they hated. They hated the McMahons, and then you got people cheering for Shane, even with those like little fake Batman and Robin punches he was throwing all the time. But it worked. Orton was hot, and then they just kind of killed him, and then they made him win the title. I mean, it wouldn't have been bad to have him lose at WrestleMania, but then Orton gets like a clean victory or near clean victory on Triple H at Backlash or Vengeance. The problem is they had him win via a three-man tag match, so it just was never credible. You can't have a good bad guy if no one thinks the bad guy is a threat. It just doesn't work. And Cena's wrestling has been, not Cena, Orton's wrestling has been on the decline. He's doing okay on the mic, but it does feel sometimes like he's forcing it. If you look at wrestler, like as far as telling a story in a match, as far as like moves and innovation and putting people over, making people look good or making himself look good, I would say on the WWE side, it has to be Chris Jericho. Just because this man, he's willing to put other people over, but he puts on really, really good matches. That match with Cena is probably one of the best Cena matches I've seen in a long time. When it was Cena versus Jericho in the main event of Raw. I can't remember exactly what month it was in, but that was good. But I think overall package, just by default, it goes to Orton, even though it's kind of a weak year as far as champions go. They haven't really performed that well.
And you know what? Back to what you said about Orton should have gotten the win over Triple H at WrestleMania 25. I may be a big Triple H fan, but I agree with you on that. I thought, back then, creative made the decision that that his record at WrestleMania was more important than, the progression of the storyline. So I agree with you.